A person can actually develop negative thought patterns in a dehydrated brain. And most people know that their headache possibly is due to dehydration. Water and water alone will supply what the body needs.
What if I told you that how you drink water could help improve your brain function, aid digestion, and even support your joints? This video summarizes the 5 rules to correctly drinking water by Barbara Oneill and the science-backed benefits of proper hydration. We'll first uncover the crucial reasons behind why hydration is essential for your overall health. Next, we'll share 5 essential rules for drinking water that can significantly enhance your well-being. Finally, we'll reveal how much water you should drink daily to stay optimally hydrated. Make sure to stay tuned until the very end, where I'll share a simple yet powerful hydration hack that can revolutionize the way you drink water.
Why should we be drinking water? Every day we lose a lot of water. We lose moisture while we sleep from our skin. So we lose 1.5 litres from our kidneys. We lose 0.5 litres from our skin. We lose 0.3 litres from our colon, and we lose 0.2 from our lungs. So that's 2.5 litre loss a day, or 2.5 quart loss a day. That must be replaced. We don't have a reserve tank on the back. The only water that goes into the body is the water that we drink. Your fruits and vegetables also supply some fluid, but we need to have at least 2 litres of pure water a day.
Let's take a deep dive into how drinking water can help treat certain medical conditions in the body. Barbara often refers to the groundbreaking work of Dr. Batmangalij, an Iranian medical doctor and expert in water metabolism. Dr. B, as he's usually called, discovered something remarkable during his time in Evin prison. Dehydration might be the root cause of many diseases. Without access to medicine, he treated prisoners suffering from painful peptic ulcers using nothing but water. That's right, just water. Imagine curing ulcers with something so simple. His results were so powerful that he dedicated his life to studying and writing about the healing power of hydration. One of his most famous books is Your Body's Many Cries for Water, where he highlights how dehydration can masquerade as illness. Another one of his compelling titles is You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty, driving home the message that we shouldn't treat thirst with medications. His final word of wisdom: don't treat thirst with medications. These books are critical to understanding why recognizing and responding to our body's thirst signals is not just a health tip, it's essential for long-term wellness.
When we're dehydrated, our body goes into a form of drought management, and it releases a hormone called histamine. And histamine is moving around the body in an attempt to maintain full blood volume in the major arteries and veins to try and keep our body alive. So what it does, it takes a little bit of water away from our joints. So we can get painful joints in dehydration. It takes a little bit of water away from the lining of our stomach that has a thick mucosa wall on it. You see, that thick mucosa wall is 99% water, so we can develop stomach ulcers in a dehydrated state. It takes water from the brain. From the neck down, we're 75% water. From the neck up, we're 85% water. When water is taken away from the brain cells shrink, and that hurts. There's your headache. Even negative thought patterns can develop when our brain is dehydrated. So, absolutely not negotiable. We need to drink 8 glasses of water a day.
Let's dive into the first crucial rule. Aim to drink at least 8 glasses of water daily. But why is this number so important? Research indicates that staying properly hydrated can enhance cognitive function, improve mood, and even boost your metabolism. Water makes up about 60% of our bodies, playing a vital role in nearly every bodily function, from digestion to temperature regulation. So, remember, the first rule is not just a suggestion, it's a key to unlocking your best health. To make this easier, 1. Think of hydration as a series of small, enjoyable sips throughout your day. 2. Begin your morning by sipping water as soon as you wake up. This will jumpstart your metabolism and rehydrate your body after a night's sleep. 3. Carry a reusable water bottle with you and take regular sips, especially during meals and snacks. By integrating these small habits into your routine, you can effortlessly meet your hydration goals and feel the difference in your overall health. Remember, hydration is a journey, not a race. Now, let's turn our attention to the next 2 rules, which are closely linked to the health of your stomach lining. But before we dive into those rules, let's explore the science behind why this matters.
The first place that water is lost is the stomach. Because lining our stomach, we have a thick mucosa lining, and in that thick mucosa lining is sodium bicarbonate. And that sodium bicarbonate is in the stomach lining, so that if any stomach acid tries to go through, it's immediately negated or neutralized, so that the hydrochloric acid doesn't eat out our stomach. But one of the first places that water is taken from in dehydration is the lining of the stomach. And so when someone is dehydrated, they can have a very thin stomach lining. And when there's a very thin stomach lining, there's no sodium bicarbonate in there. And so the stomach acid can easily start to eat its way through. And then because there's damage, our body's own microorganisms change roles and become the clean-up team. They change roles and become the clean-up team. Remember what its name is? Bacteria. It's called Helicobacter. Helicobacter pylori is blamed for stomach ulcers. What's the cause of stomach ulcers? Well, the number one. It's actually dehydration. And Dr. B claimed that at the writing of his book to have cured 3,000 cases of stomach ulcer with water alone.
The second rule is simple yet powerful. Drink a glass of water half an hour before meals. You might wonder, why is this important? Let's break it down. When you hydrate before eating, you're not just quenching your thirst, but preparing your digestive system. Drinking water at this time helps stimulate the production of digestive juices, which aids in breaking down your food more effectively. This can lead to better nutrient absorption and a more satisfying meal. Moreover, starting your meal with water can help control your appetite. It can create a sense of fullness, which may prevent overeating and contribute to healthier eating habits. So, make it a habit to sip on that glass of water about 30 minutes before you sit down to eat. Your body will thank you for it. Now, let's move on to the third rule. Avoid drinking water during your meals. You might be thinking, why should I skip water while eating? Let me share an interesting anecdote from one of Barbara Oneill's clients.
He said, I was drinking a litre of water with every meal. So every meal, he's watering down his hydrochloric acid. Did you know that hydrochloric acid is antibacterial, antifungal? So if your hydrochloric acid's strong, Helicobacter pylori can't survive in the stomach, because hydrochloric acid is antibacterial. He's drinking nothing between meals, so every meal when he sat to 8, he's dehydrated. No stomach lining. So here's Helicobacter pylori just doing its job. And by the way, every month when the antibiotic comes in, it kills the Helicobacter pylori off. But because the damage is still there, more Helicobacter pylori comes along to clean it up. When he sits to eat, hydrochloric acid's released. And hydrochloric acid is just about to come down and wipe out Helicobacter pylori. And then what does the man do? Has a great big drink of water. What does that do to hydrochloric acid? Water dilutes acid. He learnt in the lectures the importance of drinking between meals and not with meals. So he's drinking between meals, so what does that do to his stomach lining? Puts a nice thick lining on the stomach. When he smells, starts to eat food, hydrochloric acid's released, hydrochloric acid comes down, wipe out. His body healed itself. Now if someone's thirsty after a meal, by all means have a few mouthfuls of water. A few mouths of water is not going to greatly reduce the effectiveness of the hydrochloric acid.
Next, let's reduce our intake of caffeinated drinks, as they can lead to dehydration. First, we'll explore why water is vital for various functions in our bodies. Then, we'll highlight 3 caffeinated drinks to avoid for better hydration.
So we come down the gastrointestinal tract and we come to the pancreas. Here's the pancreas. And the pancreas releases 2 hormones into the blood, and it also releases enzymes into the gut, hormones into the blood. What are the hormones going into the blood from the pancreas? It's insulin and glucagon. Both of these hormones require a large amount of water to be made properly. So if someone's dehydrated, can you see that can contribute to diabetes? So moving on down the gastrointestinal tract, we come to the colon. And one of the main functions of the colon is to take water out so stools are formed. If a person is dehydrated, more water gets taken out than should be taken out, so we're left with rabbit pellets and cement. So constipation can be a result of dehydration.
So what drinks dehydrate us the most and we should avoid or take less of?
Well, what about tea and coffee, Coke? Well, unfortunately, caffeine and sugar are dehydrating agents. If you're dehydrated and drink tea or coffee or Coke or Dr. Pepper or any soda drinks, because of the dehydrating agents in them, you will become more dehydrated. It will not hydrate your body.
The final rule for drinking water is to add a pinch of Celtic salt before you hydrate. Why is this important? The minerals found in Celtic salt can enhance the absorption of water in your cells, helping you stay better hydrated.
And the best way to access that water is to have a little bit of the Celtic salt with its 82 minerals just before each glass. The cell is surrounded by what's called a bilayered membrane. This is a double-layered membrane. And the water needs help to get into the cell. So how do we help the water get into the cell? So the highest concentration of mineral inside the cell is potassium. The highest concentration outside the cell is sodium. And there are sodium-potassium pumps that are in the membrane around the cell. And these sodium-potassium pumps are constantly going like this, maintaining the balance in and out of the cell. But the salt that we use is Celtic. And the Celtic salt, and it's called the Celtic salt because it's hand-harvested by the traditional Celtic method. And one of the values of the Celtic salt is that it contains 3 magnesiums. And that's why it's so moist, because magnesium is a water-hungry molecule.
Magnesium is an important electrolyte that helps keep us hydrated. It works with minerals like sodium and potassium to maintain the right balance of fluids in our bodies. That's why you often find magnesium in electrolyte drinks like Hydrant. Now, let's answer a key question. How much water should you drink based on your body weight?
So here's the rule of thumb. So 50 pound body weight to one, well, I'll say quart for your sake, for 1 quart or 1 litre. So that means if someone is 100 pound, they should be having 2 quarts a day. And I guess someone gets very concerned if they're 200 pound. Does that mean I've got to drink 3 quarts a day? Well, that's a good incentive for weight loss. And if someone's only drinking 2 glasses of water a day and they're 200 pound, they can get very discouraged at that news. So you know what I say, Rome wasn't built in a day. You just start little by little by little to drink more. But it's a good rule of thumb for children, because children need water. And you watch, a child gets up in the morning, runs around and plays for a while, sit down for breakfast. What's the first thing they want to do straight after breakfast? Water.